to have Welshie back in the side?
Yeah, it's always good to have your quality players back, and so with Harry last week, his contribution, so it made a lot of difference, and with Christian back in there, there's some things that he leads our side in, so. Hopefully, he hasn't played for a bit. He didn't play the week before Origin, and obviously missed. I think he played 10 or 12 minutes in Origin. So we're not expecting miracles from him, but he hasn't played for about a month now, except that 10 minutes. So so he's busting to get back into it, and I'm sure he'll do a good job for us too.
He's feeling confident. There wasn't a worry, or you guys were pretty confident he passed the 10?
Yeah. Look, probably right from he come back into Twin Waters with us. He's always really keen to play this game, and he followed the protocols after Origin, and there was never he never took a step backwards. The whole process. So he's right to go.
Manello, I think that there's a stat floating around that he's only ever scored 2 hat-tricks against the Storm. You obviously would have done a bit of homework on how to stop him, I guess.
Well, I wanted to do it this week, didn't sort of do it last week. So, no, obviously, Ken's a very talented player. He's really dangerous with the footy. So, right from his first run last week, we didn't do such a good job with our contact on him. So, hopefully we can improve that tomorrow, and hopefully he doesn't score 3 tries again. But I'm not quite sure the reason. His move from the Warriors mid-season was pretty quick. So, but the Tigers have got a good player there, but also a real good winger. So I'm sure he'll be keen to make a mark tonight with his first game for the Tigers.
He'll be settling into like a new defensive scheme. Do you target players who are playing after a mid-season transfer?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether it's a whole heap of difference to what he's been used to at the Warriors, especially this year. So we haven't really spoken a whole heap about that, to be quite honest. But really, what he was doing for the Warriors, most of that he's seems to be part of the system at the Tigers as well.
So this looks like the last game you'll be playing on the coast before you go back to Melbourne.
I've heard that one before.
I guess hoping to go out with a bang here.
Oh yeah, we haven't really spoken about that, to be quite honest. That's the first I've sort of we probably knew that without actually thinking about it. If everything goes to plan, well, it will be our last game up here. But I can probably be a bit cynical at times, but so at the end of the day, whatever happens next week happens, and then whatever happens the week after happens. So whether it is our last game here, or whether something happens that we can't go home for another couple of weeks, well, we just need to adapt to the situation and just get on with it. So as I said, we haven't really thought about, we haven't thought about this might be our last game here this season, but. If it is, we'd like to go out with a bang, I suppose. But at the same time, we just got to make sure we concentrate on our processes and get them right, and hopefully, we can play well and get us into the game early in the game.
I know you're a Blue, so you probably don't have much sympathy. But the Queensland guys who came back, is there a worry that they might be a bit shell-shocked after a result like that, or they want to get back out of the park and sort of?
Yeah, I think it's the latter, to be quite honest. They're obviously disappointed, and they come back in with their shoulders slumped a touch, but they realise that that game's over now, and they've got a game to play tomorrow night, and then after that they can get their head back onto Origin, and they're going to be playing in Brisbane, which we all know what it's like for an opposing team to be playing the Suncorp. So, but I haven't really, like I say, they were probably down a little bit the first couple of days, but, life goes on, and the footy life goes on, and they had a little bit of time off, and after last week's game for us, and, I'm sure they'll be keen to play well tomorrow night, and then, get ready for Origin.
Just on Juzzy, there was a bit of commentary this week that they were trying to get him in to play for the Maroons. That's not possible though, is it?
Don't know, actually I haven't heard no more than that, but I heard that they were pushing very hard, and the last I heard it looked like it was going to be unlikely, but that was a couple of days ago, so I haven't heard nothing since, so I imagine the unlikely won through.
We might go down to the Zoom guys. Mel, are you there?
Hey Craig.
Hey Mel, how you doing?
I just had a question about your, like last weekend with that points tally. I think you've set a record, or your second highest ever for the amount of points scored over 14 rounds. And given that you're such a defence-oriented coach, I just wondered, has there been a change in mindset, or is there anything that the team sort of set as a goal early in the season, or anything that's sort of doing different with your game plan that to be scoring so many points?
No, not really. It certainly wasn't a change in mentality on how we wanted to play our footy, but at the start of the year. But when we saw the rule changes and the interpretations of the rules, we had to make some changes, and like every team did. And I suppose the other thing to add to that, we've had to. Well, not had to, like our mentality's always been to make sure that we don't ignore the strengths of our players, and players that are playing in the NRL, we want them to use their strengths. So again, whether this year some of the new players we've brought in have been a bit more attack orientated, I'm not quite sure, but certainly we want to use players' strengths and make sure we're making available through our game plan that they can use their strengths. So that's always been our mentality, and that hasn't changed. So perhaps getting Rumus and George, some of them new players, they've added a fair bit to our team, especially attack wise. So I'm not quite sure whether that's the point, but certainly the rule changes, and we've certainly made some changes to how we were playing last year, and how we would have been playing 3 years ago. So our guys seem to have handled the new rules and the interpretations pretty well.
Now, here's a treat. I believe Roy is there.
Oh, far out.
Mate, you were supposed to be asking the first question, Roy. Yeah, dang it. Been hiding on me.
Craig, I'm keen to know how your Origin guys handling their sort of recoveries and things this week, considering they're away from home and out of their usual zone. Last year you didn't have the Origin to think about until late on.
Yeah, again, all those guys, they've played Origin before, so they know, how they want to recover and how they want to handle, the weeks between Origin games. So, the guys that played last week, obviously, Christian didn't. So he went and spent a few days with his mum and dad after the head knock. Then he come back into training, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. The other four, they went and after they played with us, but they went and had some time off and only come back today, to be quite honest, to train. And so while they've missed our our reviews and our previews, they just put their feet up for a bit and basically did what they wanted to do. So that's usually that's sort of has been our program with Origin players. When they play for us on the weekend, we give them the rest of the week off, and we'll see tomorrow how that's worked. But as I said, it hasn't been the first time that's happened. For these guys, they're experienced of that. They've experienced it before, so hopefully they'll be ready to go tomorrow.